boy, you're the image of the past. Spent a season breathing in the back. Dark force you can't afford. Your plate inside this play of swords.
Greetings, general folk of the interwebs. This is the third episode of Amplitude Rising. This is your co-host, Bjorn.
I'm here as usual, Sean.
And here in studio, we've got a lovely band, Brother, and Sean's going to tell you a little bit about them before we get to them.
Just like Bjorn said, we've got a great band here. They go by the name of Brother, and they're from St. George. We have Tyler, Chuck, Erica, and Verena.
And one more, but we're missing one. So go ahead and tell us who else is on the Who Are We Missing, because it's your drummer, right?
All right, yeah. We have a drummer named Nate. He's a local kid from the area. He couldn't make it with us tonight, but he's a lot of fun.
That's all right. We'll do a shout out to Nate. But okay, so let's go ahead and get into this. You guys go ahead and just pass the mic around, introduce yourselves a bit so we can get us familiar with you and everybody else who's listening to us.
Yes, tell us about yourselves.
All right, I'm Tyler. We originally started with 3 members. I'm one of the original trio. I play guitar, vocals, bass, just kind of whatever I need to do.
My name is Chuck Emery. I'm 5'10".
Do you like romantic walks on the beach too, Chuck?
Did someone say that?
Pina coladas?
Caught in the rain?
Yes. I play guitar and sing.
My name is Erica. I do backup vocals. I play guitar and bass. And I am the fun one of the band, I think I'd say. Now I'm going to pass over to my best friend.
Hi, I'm Erica's best friend, Verena. I joined the band just like 1 to 2 months ago. And I play the synth, piano, just anything that involves keys and
Awesome.
percussion. So
Heck yeah.
Awesome.
and backup.
Piano is the greatest percussion instrument.
Oh, I like that. I like to hear that. There's the flavor.
Okay, excellent. Thanks, guys. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just ask you a couple questions now.
We found a couple of questions that we figured would be kind of interesting for you guys. Feel free to answer them, whoever would like to.
And
it's all for
we'll
fun.
point at some of you if you obviously don't want to answer it, because that means you have the best answers. So
the first question here, where does your band name originate from? Where did you get Brother?
We're going to have Chuck answer that one. He's our leader, I'd say.
Oh,
Team leader.
Hi, this is Chuck. For all you people on the interwebs. Can you repeat the question?
Where does the name Brother come from?
The name Brother. So, one of my best friends, his name is Justin Gooch, is Tyler Gooch's brother. And then Justin Gooch is also dating Erica Goodwin here. So I was like, wow, like we should just call it Brother.
because everyone's
He's
connected.
basically my brother. And like, they might be brother and sister soon.
That's awesome. That's
be
awesome.
great. Oh,
Okay,
man.
sweet.
Yeah. Verena's also my younger brother.
Officially adopted in, yeah. Okay, then I guess, how did you all meet? We kind of got a little bit with the friends and then dating brothers of friends and such, but how did you guys meet and why did you start a band?
Okay, the original trio, Chuck, me, and my little sister, Sunny, kind of the original brother, but Chuck wasn't going to school. Sunny was playing rugby. She broke her leg, couldn't really do anything, and so Chuck and Sunny started writing music. I said, I want to be part of this, so I jumped in too. And we started playing shows, and it just turned into a real fun thing. And now we do it for a living, I guess Chuck does.
So professionally unemployed presently, right?
Exactly.
Okay, sweet. So we've got you guys then, but what about you, Erica and Verena? What is your story?
Yes. Well, I actually met Chuck about 4 years ago, and we played music together, and we both had a dream to do music. And then he went on a mission. I did not. I just served in my community as a good citizen. And then he came back and brother started, and then I was like, this is cool. So I hopped on the wagon of music.
Okay, so when you say mission, what are you talking about? Because we've got a pretty broad
he served
audience.
an LDS mission, which is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And he served in Japan and just spreaded. Is that a word? He was spreading the gospel to good people of Japan. Can we make up words on this show? Is that allowed?
Yeah, it's official. Sproating is now the past tense of spread.
That is now
Yeah.
correct, yes.
Yes. So, anyways, that's how I came. And then, Verena, do you want to tell us how you came?
Yes, please, Verena, regale us with your
So,
tale.
They had a show with I was in a band called Child Ivory, and we both were playing at Muse one night, and so they played before us and we played last, and then I thought Brother had a great sound, and so of course like bands mingle, and so I was like, oh, you guys sound so good, and if you ever want to collaborate, like, let's do something. And I was mostly just like talking to Erica because like I thought it was so cool that another girl was involved in the music scene. And then she, a couple of days later, she texted me and she asked if I would be interested in joining their band. And of course I said yes.
That is
That's
fantastic.
amazing.
That's awesome.
She's amazing. So we were like, we need her. And now she's here.
I'm definitely really excited to hear you guys perform at the end of this. This is going to be really, really sweet then.
Yeah. Where would you guys say you get your music inspiration from? Was there a specific artist? Do you guys like a certain type of music? Is it an experience to create your music? Where does your inspiration come from in the songs you create?
Right. Well, Chuck's our mastermind behind all the music, so we'll let him answer this.
Thank you. This is Chuck again for all you people on the interwebs. Still currently 5'10", 160 pounds.
How we didn't get that detail last time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
burped
new.
in the middle of that. I guess inspiration, a lot of it, for all of us, we all listen to different, like a lot of different types of music. Growing up, listened to a lot of different bands and stuff from whatever my father force fed me. So like Kansas, a lot of those old classic rock bands.
They're
So I
fantastic.
was like, yeah, I was a country, and like my older brother listened to a lot of rap, and so just intermingling like a lot of organic sounds, so like acoustic guitars, like pianos, with a lot of more like digital sounds, with like
Yeah.
more modernness. So like, I really like Bon Iver.
Ooh, yes.
I like a lot of what they do because they incorporate a lot of that organic sound. Like they have drums, but they have their drummer playing like cardboard boxes too.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's something we like to do is just experiment with a lot of different sounds and different ways to make those sounds.
That is pretty fantastic.
amazing.
So then your guys' sound, if you were to describe it, what would you classify it as?
Music.
That's fantastic, Chuck.
Nice.
Any more specific, and I think my mind would have been blown. But so I guess what I'm getting at. So if we were to put it in a genre, what would you say?
We kind of had a period where we were trying to decide, because we didn't really know either. But I think we.
That's
kinda
why you dodged Chuck. I got it. Yeah.
Exactly. We decided on indie folk rock. Is that right, Chuck?
All right.
Yeah. That's the genre we name it.
So just throw indie before it and call it good. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It
So
works.
indie music. Period.
All right. Well, let's get into a little bit more fun questions.
They're exciting. Trust
All
me.
right. So, if we were to take a look at wherever you store your music, be that your phone, some old iPod, or whatever, what is the most embarrassing song we would find on there?
All about that bass.
Just personal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And with Tyler, we have all about that bass.
I don't know. I like it.
All right, Chuck, what do you got?
I still like the song, just to say, but I think maybe one of the most embarrassing ones is a song that Erica and I recorded, and it's called Best Friends, and it's like from a while ago. And it's like
Okay, so
really
scratch
cheesy.
whatever performance you were going to do. I expect Best Friends at the end of this.
It is like it's a good song. Like if someone else sang it and like, oh yeah, this is cool, but like the fact that like we sang it's just like every time I hear it, like, oh, this brings back so many memories.
that really long pause there.
Oh my goodness.
It brings
This
back
is a
some
fun
kind.
interview.
Playing the song, you know.
Yeah.
of just like recording it and just like the fact like I wrote all those cheesy lyrics and stuff like
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, but now I'll change it. Just because it was a great song, Chuck. You wrote a good song, but that was when I was first starting to like sing at places. So I was very new. But if I had to pick of just stuff on my iPod, it would probably be "We're All in This Together," High School Musical. So, I feel like it's really relatable in life, but I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna
for
pass this
some
to Verena
lives.
now.
I don't have anything embarrassing on my.
Oh,
come on.
I listen to. I'm a classical pianist, so I listen to a lot of classical music.
Okay.
Someone's fancy.
I don't know.
Where was the first place you guys ever performed, and what was that like?
We played at the Goosenecks this spring. That's
Okay.
the pre-show. That was really interesting, very fun. It was our first time ever. It was pouring rain because it was outside,
Oh.
and I didn't bring a jacket, so I wore a garbage bag on stage. And I had a hat, so we really did look like brothers. But I embraced it. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm a brother.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
That's pretty great.
it was fun, though.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, then with the original trio, what about you guys?
the first time we performed, so like you said, I wasn't going to school,
Mm-hmm.
and so I had a lot of time on my hands because I wasn't working either. And his sister Sunny, that was in the band originally, she broke her leg from playing rugby, so like we were just home all day, had nothing to do because she was kind of on drugs and she was kind of loopy, and I had to take care of her.
Best time to
'cause-
write lyrics, right?
Yeah, no one else was there to take care of her, so I had to like pick her up and stuff and like take her in her wheelchair everywhere and
Yeah.
bring her stuff. I don't know. It was the worst. But after we wrote a couple songs and kind of perfected them a little bit. We went to Velour's open mic and we performed there. We were the last ones on the list. Like we just barely made it out of like 20 people.
Oh, wow.
And then they had like 5 people behind us and they all got really mad that we signed on or whatever. But yeah, we played there. We played 2 songs. And the owner, Corey Fox, came up after, like, and he's like, "Hey, I was working in the back, and then I heard you singing. Like, I heard your song, and I was like, wow, I got to come out and, like, check it out." And he listened to both the songs. He's like, "I want you guys to play next week." And so we practiced for the next week and did an acoustic showcase, and Tyler jumped on. And then we had a drummer there that helped us out. But
That's
that was,
awesome.
like, our first.
That's cool.
That is awesome. Way cool. Okay, sweet. So I guess then moving into that would be, where would you guys most like to perform in the future? If you could perform anywhere.
Probably having Metallica open for us at the Angel Stadium in Los Angeles.
Realistic
Love
dreams.
some
Yeah, yeah.
Metallica.
I don't know. Chuck, have you thought about that? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe just somewhere out of state.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that would be
Nice.
really fun just to have fans maybe, or a lot of people show up that don't know us, like they're not friends with us.
Yeah.
Red Rock State Park in Colorado.
Okay. There
Be a
we
great
go.
place to start.
I guess
Yeah.
that kind of brings us to another question that we had on our list. Is if you guys could go on to any type of tour anywhere,
Like we're
Global-
talking on a global
global
scale.
size, yeah, where would you guys like to go?
Nitro Circus.
You
This
said
is
it
anywhere,
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
The Tour de France.
Worldwise. Gosh, that's a great question. Coast to coast.
Coast to
Coast
coast.
to coast,
That'd be
okay.
pretty sweet.
In a little van.
North to south.
That'd
North
be
to south, east to west.
Polars. It's called Polar Tour.
Polar tour.
Polar
Polar
tour.
Tour. Okay.
Polar tour.
Okay. All right. So then I've got a question for you guys. What is some type of genre or a song or an artist that you just abhor is kind of a strong word, but don't like?
That we don't like.
That you
Yeah.
don't
I feel like
like.
this is a dangerous question.
This
It is a very dangerous
question.
question. See how many enemies you can make real
yeah,
quick.
I know. Guys,
I know I've already made a few in
I
our
don't wanna-
first episode.
Yeah, I don't think I want to answer this. I think
Don't say brother. Ah, okay, there you go.
I'm gonna let Verena. Do you want to answer this one? You sure?
Everyone's
She's
shaking their
nodding.
head.
She wants to answer it. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's totally
yeah,
in
definitely,
on it.
Verena, okay.
No, but
Nodding no.
I can. I don't screamo maybe, just like
Okay.
really loud, crazy.
Screamo.
But Chuck likes screamo, and he's like the lead. So I don't know.
Hey, everyone is entitled to their own
Their
opinion.
own
It's
opinions,
okay.
yep.
Music that I really don't like.
That you just
Yeah.
can't stand listening to.
Oh,
And if you want to play it safe and say there isn't anything like that, you can say, well, if I listen to this type of music for too long.
I just don't like super cheesy lyrics.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm a lyric person. When I listen to music, like that's what I focus on.
A lyricist.
Yes, thank you. Ooh, I like that. But if it's super cheesy, I can't.
Can't
I
do
can't
it.
even.
You can't even, but can you odd?
Can you all? Oh, that was cheesy. That should not be in a song.
That was cheesy.
Speaking of
I
that,
should be slapped for that.
okay, then you both have to
we
get
got
super
a
cozy
double
with that
answer
mic.
here.
I have to say it. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Chinese karaoke music. just kidding.
Chinese karaoke music.
I don't know if I've ever actually listened to Chinese karaoke music.
Well,
Maybe at
apparently
Verina's
you
house.
should. You should, Tyler.
Oh, just in case you people on the interwebs can't see us, Verina's Chinese. So.
So we're not racists.
Actually, she's Taiwanese.
Taiwanese, there is a
Yes.
difference.
You're welcome.
That's
And
best friends,
I'm
right?
actually, they're all like Asian, except me. They wanted me so that there was some diversity in the band. That's
Hey.
the real reason
Right,
why they
right.
let me in. They needed a minority. Yeah, we've got Chuck's half Filipino, Tyler's half Cambodian,
Awesome. Awesome.
and I am,
Half white and other half white.
yes,
Yeah. Okay, good.
European.
Whoa.
Ooh.
No.
Blew my mind.
Nate is Latino, so he's our drummer. He's not here today.
Oh, I'm missing Nate.
Got like literally the most racially diverse band in history,
Thank you.
probably.
Thank
It's
you.
beautiful. It's a beautiful
We're
thing.
gonna remember that. That's
Use that as like your catchphrase.
It's the subtitle of your band, right?
I know. Yeah. We need to showcase that. We need to showcase our diversity.
So do you guys ever find yourself listening to your own music?
For myself, yes, a lot of the time, mostly because I'm like studying it. When we first recorded it until now, like it's been a while, and I listen to it almost every day and every night. Just trying to figure out like what we can add to it, what will sound better, like if all the songs on this actual like CD or album are gonna flow together, or like it's good where it's placed and everything. I spend a lot of time studying it and figuring out what
What
goes where and
works.
everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
Very
Sweet.
reasonable
Tyler,
answer.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like after a football game, you got to watch your tapes, kind of see where you messed up, where you can improve. It's the same kind of thing. That's I think mostly why at least me and Chuck listen to it. I know Erica listens to it every day in her car. I don't think she has any other music in her car. She's got the CD in there, and it's always on when we ride in her car.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. So we know what you guys do. But with our newest member, Verena, what about you then?
I listen to it whenever I'm in Erica's car. And then whenever they tell me to, I feel like I am always like working, and so or like I listen to podcasts and like
But you're going to be listening to this one.
Hey, here's one more. Yeah.
so here's another one I can listen to, but I hate listening to my own voice. So
Oh, heavens. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and get into a few more like personal-y-ish questions, not so much like soul-searching yet. That's coming. But for starters, okay, because we now know about your musical preferences, what about movies, film, and such? What, Tyler, is your favorite movie?
Oh man, I am kind of a Marvel geek. I don't know. I like everything that everyone geeks out on. I don't know. I like Lord of the Rings and I like all the Marvel stuff.
We can
Not
be
so
friends.
much into DC yet. Maybe getting there. I
They
don't
got
know.
a
We'll see
ways
how
to
they do.
go.
You know,
Yeah,
they got a little
yeah.
ways to go. But
Do all right
Yeah.
on their TV shows, though.
yeah,
Ish.
yeah, that's why I hear.
You're like,
that's why I hear. I don't know.
still marvelous. Anyway, keep
Yeah,
going.
it's
Sorry.
fine. But yeah, and then just I don't know, classics. Just you guys know Brother Where Art Thou?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
One
yeah.
of my favorites. I don't know, just whatever. I like it.
All right, sweet. Pass it down. Let's hear them.
I also like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? This is Chuck again for all you people on the interwebs. I like movies that make you think. One of my all-time favorites is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I don't think I've seen that one actually. That's
it's
impressive.
a really good one.
I'll check
I
it out.
enjoy it so
Haven't heard of
much
that
that I wrote a song about it, and we're performing it tomorrow at Valor.
Ooh, okay, sweet.
Erica here. I would say my favorite movie is Life is Beautiful.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. It's a beautiful movie.
Why?
Just the story, like, it's very touching and clever. It has everything I love in movies, like romance. No, it's great. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Have the subtitles on, so
There you go.
if you're
Awesome.
English speaking.
Marina?
Oh, okay. I like movies that like are unique. So I watch a lot of films, independent films, and also documentaries. I really like documentaries.
I like this one.
And so like yeah, just it's a wide variety of things. So
Awesome. Excellent, guys. Thank you. All right.
So what methods do you guys usually use to promote your band? Is it Spotify, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, iTunes, Facebook, Twitter, you name it? How do you guys
Let the
promote
music
yourself?
do the talking?
Ooh.
That
But
was
usu-
unintentionally deep, I feel like
Yeah,
that.
usually just our mouths. Usually
Okay.
just telling.
Can you like shout really loud or something? How do the people
I
get
could
to
do it on
hear
here,
you?
but I'm afraid like for the clipping and everything.
And the microphone
Yeah,
might
might,
not handle
might
it.
avoid
Okay,
that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe not. But we're on Bandcamp.
Okay.
Yes, SoundCloud. We have a Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter. We do have a Twitter. You don't use MySpace anymore.
Sorry, behind the
Since
times, man.
incident.
Okay.
LinkedIn.
On everything. Okay, sweet. All right, and so with that then, just for everybody, what and how would they search and find your music? What name, what handle, what are you guys using on all of those?
Typically, if you Google Brother, a sewing machine company will come up.
Yep, so
I
there you
think
go.
I
Worked
did
very
that.
good.
Yeah. And I was
You
like,
did
wait,
that?
what?
Yeah. Our music right now currently is on Bandcamp.
Okay.
We are about to release an album, but we've released the single on Bandcamp. You can find it at brother5.bandcamp.com.
And is that the number 5 or is that spelled out?
Yeah, that's the number 5. So
Okay.
brother, the number 5.bandcamp.com.
Sweet.
And we've got links to it everywhere on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. So you can find it. We're working on hopefully eventually getting onto iTunes and Spotify and things like that.
We also have a website up that our very own photographer Brian James Emery made, and it's brother.official.com. Just brotherofficial.com.
No,
Cool.
no dot in the middle. Okay. Excellent. Brotherofficial.com. Sweet.
It's there.
Okay, then I'm going to hit you with a personal question. When and at what point in time did you feel the most at peace? And with that, could you describe it?
I was watching a video, and it was a talk that Jim Carrey was giving. And usually you think of Jim Carrey and he's just like this crazy guy, and he's like all funny and stuff. But he was being completely serious, and he said that he was doing something. He was just thinking really deeply, and he's pondering this quote that he heard by Buddha, and it says that all spirituality is the relieving of suffering. And he said that as he remembered that quote, that he was thrown into this realm of where he was just one with everything and everyone. And so I was like, oh, I want to think about that. And I was thinking about that, and I was thrown into that same realm. And I was just sitting in my room just one night, and it just seemed like everything just made sense. Whoa, I understand what's going on.
Well, I've got this thing going on. I bought a truck last fall, and I have started kind of going crazy with wanting to go in the mountains and going camping and stuff a lot. But kind of lately, especially with the band and stuff like that, I work a lot of overtime, and when I'm not working, I'm doing stuff with the band and stuff like that, and life just gets kind of crazier than it's been. And so there was one night I went camping up with Brian and a couple of my friends. We went up just into the mountains, up Provo Canyon, and we just found this nice spot that kind of overlooked the city, and it was an overcast night and things like that. And eventually, while we were camping, I was in the back of the truck, and everyone was kind of tucked nicely away just in case it did rain. It did start raining, and I was just looking out over the city, and I could see the lightning striking over. And when it's cloud cover, it's you can see pretty well. It holds the light somehow. But I was just looking over, and I just seeing the pine trees, and I saw the peaks of Timpanogos. And it was just a really, really beautiful moment. And it was one of those kind of spiritual moments where you're just like, man, like this, like life really is beautiful. Like I'd been stressed out for a couple weeks, and I just, I was just kind of getting used to living in my stress. Until that moment, it's like, man, this makes everything worth it. Just being out here in the beauty of nature, just kind of seeing the majesty of creation, and just it kind of really put me at peace, and just kind of gave me another boost to keep going. And so I don't know, my friends kind of think I'm annoying because I like to go camping every single weekend, and I'm always trying to invite them. But it's my escape from life, and that's kind of what keeps me on my feet, keeps me at peace.
Awesome. All right, Erica, you're next down the line. Sorry, sweetie.
Next. Okay. I would say when I've been in my room in a quiet place and I've just been on my knees praying to God, I've felt the most peace. And just whenever I'm communicating with God, or there's nothing like it. It's just an overwhelming feeling of love and purpose, and just complete peace, I'd have to say.
Yeah, I have, my answer is kind of a mix of Tyler's and Erica's. I really like being outside in nature, just being alone. Or just, even if you're around people who are able to observe and really appreciate the beauty of our creation. And then also just when I'm around people who I know unconditionally love me. Also, when I'm just around people who unconditionally love me, there's no better feeling. I'm not crying right now.
She says
there's no better feeling than being surrounded by people who aren't going to judge you for what you were born into or what your status is in the world. So, yeah.
Very good. Very good.
I love you, Verena.
We all love you, Verena.
Not as much as me.
No, definitely not. Excellent. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and do something a little out of the norm that just popped into my head randomly because I realize I've got, however many people here outside of us. You guys, we've been hounding you. Do you want to ask us any questions while you have us here?
Are you
No,
single?
not you, Erica.
They knew that was coming.
If you could have a certain amount of money and you could drive
And this is Chuck.
any car, where would you be?
If I could have any car and a certain amount of money, where would I be?
Yeah.
That was a beautiful question.
That is a beautiful question. I have to think about
do
that
you
one for a
need, do you
bit.
need a second? Because I'm pretty sure I got you beat.
Go for it.
Okay, scrap the car. I'm going to be on a motorcycle, and I'm going to be in Iceland right now.
This is good.
Ooh.
Though China is
impressed.
fun. I like China too.
I don't know what
Japan was awesome also.
I don't know what kind of car I'd be in, but it'd be something small and fast.
You want a
And
Fiat.
as
I
long-
can see it.
No,
Like-
faster, much
My love
faster.
life, yes.
Something fun to drive, fast, and then
Small and fast.
small, fast, and on a curvy road somewhere, probably near the ocean. That'd be pretty cool.
Actually, I was going to say France and Norway, I think, have some really good
Cool.
twisties.
Maybe anywhere where Paul Walker went to in his white Supra, wherever he went.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you
that
go.
sounds nice.
Oh, man. What animal would you be if you could choose any animal to be? I don't know.
That was adorable. Go for it, Sean.
I'm gonna go for a cat.
Why?
Why? Because cats have this attitude of, I don't care. Like,
So
wait,
they're
you
like
want to talk
lazy
to me?
humans?
Yeah, I'm out of here. I could just not care about anything and just be a cat.
And they can just lounge all day in the sun.
Exactly.
Right? That is something nice. Conversely, I would kind of be the polar opposite of that scale. Because fortunately, like both Verena and Tyler here, I'm huge outdoors. Love it. Anytime I can go out and do like wilderness survival camping and such, it's amazing. So the closer I am to nature, the happier I would be. And so I'd actually say something like a timber wolf. That'd be super sweet.
Ooh.
Because, I mean, talk about, again, the speed and then just like melding with nature around you. You're just running through the forest. That to me sounds pretty sweet. But
Well, I feel stupid now.
as well you should, Sean. You're a house cat.
Hey, I'm a house cat. I don't care.
You're like, whatever. I sit around and watch the TV with my owners again. Except they're not owners. They're your slaves.
Right,
'Cause cats.
exactly.
'Cause cats.
Exactly.
You guys
Okay.
are so exciting.
I'm glad you think so.
So you guys brought your instruments today. Would it be all right if we got a recording of some of your music?
Jingle bells.
That is
Jingle bells.
music. All right, we're going to go ahead and get to that. They're going to tune up for a second, and we'll cut back to that here in a moment.
The song's called Curse. The sound it makes when our words embrace, panicking birds flapping into what we know. I hear the sound again. Call me from home, call me from home. I feel your curves again. I'm alive, but I'm still sick. Take me from here, make me behold what you are. Constant airflow, minding its from where I know. I hear the sound again. Call me from home again. Call me from home. I feel your curves again. I'm alive, but I'm still sick. 'Cause you don't know me anymore. I hear the sound again. Call me from home, call me from I feel your curves again. I'm alive, but I'm still sick. 'Cause you don't know me anymore. I hear the sound again. Call me from home again. Call me from home. I feel your curves again. I'm alive, but I'm still sick. 'Cause you don't know me anymore.
right. So do you guys have any upcoming performances?
We'll have some shows up in Salt Lake. We do perform locally here in Provo and everything, and we'll be playing a big show very soon up in Utah State.
Okay, excellent. So if our listeners were wanting to like get that information, keep tabs on what you guys were doing, where could they go to find that?
Best place to go is Instagram. Follow us at brother.official and follow us. We'll put all our show dates and everything, different promotions we're running, or just songs are coming out, albums are dropping.
Okay, perfect.
Sounds good.
Awesome. And so that was brother.official, correct?
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank you guys so much for coming in tonight.
You can't hear my smile.
No, it's kind of a creepy sound, but I think we can hear it. Okay, seriously though, thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thank
It was
you.
awesome. And we'll catch up with you guys later then.
If you enjoyed this podcast, feel free to follow us on Instagram at amplitude_rising, like our Facebook page at Amplitude Rising,
And tell all your friends. Also, if you or a band you know or friends or anything like that want to be featured on our show, go ahead and shoot us an email at amplituderising@gmail.com. Shoot us a message on Facebook, carrier pigeon, anything that you want. Just get us the message, tell us who they are, and we'll be sure to fit them in on here.
We hope you enjoyed this podcast. We'll see you next time.
Always be my